everybody. Welcome to Tadaima, a Terrace House Podcast, your weekly companion to your favorite show on Netflix. I am Robert Scarpanito, and I am joined here by Daily Wilhelm.
Konbanwa.
Jack Cepeda.
Tadaima.
And Okairi. And Colin Sparling.
Okay. You didn't throw it to me second this time. I'm like, I was expecting it this time, and I was like, okay, I'm just kind of just roll with the punches.
I knew it wasn't going to happen this time.
But now he went. He just done fucked it up.
You know, maybe I should just keep you guys on your feet. Who knows who's coming in first, second, and third? You know.
Can I shout out the one person from Guam that downloaded our show? What up, Guam?
Hey, Guam. Today we are going to be talking about episode 40 of Terrace House Opening You Doors. Fucking great title for this one. A man who can't be described in Japanese. It's a very mysterious title, but once you see the episode, it's so funny. So fucking good.
It's like a Coen Brothers film title.
Yes.
And I like it.
And of course, we're going live on the first day of the new year. Happy New Year's to everybody, by the way.
Happy New Year.
Oshogatsu omedetou.
Yep. Hope you all have been not only making New Year's resolutions, but sticking to them. Stick to it.
I hope you're not too hungover to listen to our show, and if you are, well, chill out on your couch, take some hangover cure, maybe some greasy food, and listen to our podcast.
Oh, maybe this episode should be the ASMR one, so hungover people can't bitch about it.
We'll just whisper the rest of the time.
Whoa.
Yeah, Colin's voice was so fucking loud and grating on my ears.
Frequencies.
So this episode starts with a very interesting moment to me with the panelists where Yama just kind of starts this tirade of, I love Terrace House. We're all passionate about Terrace House. Terrace House is the best thing in our lives, and we're so passionate to make it. And I can't help but think, same.
Yes, same.
Yeah, I mean, they literally talk about they have outside of, their official duties as panelists for Terrace House, they have a group chat where they talk about Terrace House, and it's like, isn't that just what we're doing here right now?
Basically, we're the panelists for Terrace House, guys. Basically.
We made it.
Or better yet, find a way to get into their group message and shill. Just shill the shit out of our podcast.
Yeah, someone download Line. Hack into their group chat.
Line? Is Line even a thing here?
Line.
I mean, you could download it. Don't know how much you'd get use out of it, but
what was that freak out about? What was he freaking out about? Yamachan.
Wasn't he freaking out at Aio for the way he was like he and Risako were super flirty and clearly veterans at this, and it was really well done.
Yeah, he was offended that he was being shown up as a comedian by amateurs like Risako and Aio.
Oh, got it.
And he got very mad.
I was wondering. I was like, what the hell is he so why is he so pissed?
It's such a good freak out though. Might be
I mean, obviously he was joking. He's like, hold me back, bro. Hold me back.
Yeah. But I want a gif of that where it's just it also says triggered and it's fucking shaky cam and shit.
I'm sure it already exists out there.
Oh, probably.
He's got them crazy eyes.
Mm-hmm. But we move over to the episode proper, and we open up in a bar/restaurant called Nomikui Dokoro Inase. Yes?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it's all the boys, and it's a boys' night out. Beers and talking about girls, guys.
Kampai.
I love the sequel, Nomikuse Dokoro Ultimate Alpha 3.
EX plus Alpha.
The PS2 version was better.
But I don't know. This is where the wheels start turning for this whole episode. This whole episode basically is setting up two love triangles, and it's so good. It's so juicy and dramatic. And this one, we find out that Kaito likes both Yui and Maya. Ooh,
Playa
boy. With Maya, he's very comforted. He feels like he can be himself and be, who he wants to be. But with Yui, he likes cooking with her. Good for him.
Sweet. He's a good cook too. They make good food together. There's something to be said for that.
Yeah, and this love triangle quickly becomes a really long running theme for this episode. They come back to it a lot in this episode too. It's discussed a lot.
Yeah, along with the theme that almost everyone recognizes that Yui would be a good person to marry. like specifically marry, not necessarily date, but marry, that she would
feel
be
like I heard
good
that
for you.
three times in this episode.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think this is a common theme we've been saying for a while. At least I've been saying it. She is such a mom.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's been evident, since day one with her. She has such motherly tendencies. She's doing people's laundry. She definitely doesn't go to bed until the kitchen is cleaned and all the dishes are in their place. And she just is kind of comfortable. Unfortunate for her, she's in a house with a bunch of young single people that might not necessarily be looking to wife it up. Taco was one that comes to mind that was looking to wife it up. And he got a woman that was, I can't remember the word they used to describe that type of person, but much like Yui, right? Like someone who is kind of calm
Soothing
and gentle.
to the soul.
Yeah, and soothing, right?
to the soul. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
so
jazz album.
So she's in kind of more like not a frat house, but you know what I mean? Like just a young, like people that want to just have fun and just do stuff.
She's in a room full of boys when she's looking for a man.
And it's just not lining up
I mean,
for her, unfortunately.
It was weird because even Sota was like, oh, yeah, I mean, Yui's great. I feel the most comfortable around Yui, but, she's pretty young.
Yeah, and I remember specifically there was the scene where Yui was going in to wake up Kaito for before they went to that music festival, and we'll get to that. But she tells Sota, put your covers on. You're going to catch a cold, is what he said.
On her way out.
I'm like, on her way out. I'm like, oh my god, holy mom.
Yeah.
Holy mom.
Holy mom.
Yeah.
Yui is the holy mother.
Oh shit.
Mother
that's it.
Teresa.
Whoa, if only.
And it is a funny kind of juxtaposition. These first few scenes before the intro song, it's just funny because like it's the boys' night out and the girls' night in, and they're both talking about each other basically. It's like I felt like I was back in the 90s or something.
It was nice though for me. Yeah, it kind of reminds me like that is kind of like Japanese Friends in a weird way, but it was nice to see the guys hang out and just do a thing because it's been since talking Shohei, kind of went out and bonded, that there was that kind of like brotherly bonding going on, that brotherly love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like to see it, and some revelations came to the fore, right, between Aio and Sota. They were basically like, okay, it's war.
Yeah, it's almost like when Shohei declared war on Noah. They're declaring war at each other. Obviously, wasn't nerdily vocalized like Shohei did it.
Yeah,
right. In true singer-songwriter fashion, he had to put it out there.
Mom.
I feel like it's one of those conversations that I feel like only happens on Terrace House. Like I feel like if two guys in the real world are going after the same girl, they tend to play the cards close to the chest. But for whatever reason here I don't know if it's a Japanese culture thing, but on Terrace House they just bring it up like, no, I'm going to go for her. So best of luck to you.
Yeah. It's hard to watch.
I prefer that actually.
It's hard to watch for me just because it's so obvious who the winner of like Risako's heart thus far is.
Yeah,
Sota.
Yeah.
Right. No.
Yeah, Sota,
yeah. I mean,
No.
she's explicitly said like she's not that into Sota, and he hasn't picked up on that whatsoever.
But he makes such a baller move later in this episode that I think is going to turn his favor.
Sure.
In one direction, that's for sure. So Aio also knows that, right, Daily? Like he knows that Risa didn't have a great experience on their date. They already had that discussion. Yeah,
right.
He kind of has a ace in his sleeve with that.
Right, because they're talking.
I'm sorry. Just keep in mind he never mentioned that to Sota. Either.
That's true. That's maybe strategic on his part.
For sure. Because this is like because the guys are out, the girls are at home talking, right, and they're all basically like Soda's off the table, 100%. All three of them say Sota is not even close.
It's gonna be rough when he sees this, man. That is just public embarrassment. Ooh.
Does Sota care though?
I mean,
does Sota actually fucking care?
I'm not convinced he does.
Like,
I don't think he cares.
They joke about it, right? Later on, the panelists, they talk about how, oh shoot, Soda's gonna see this. We're sorry. But then Toku's like, but he's probably just gonna be like, oh, they're just joking, or oh, that's whatever. Yeah, they can think what they want. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. And then he turns into Professor Sota.
Professor Sota. Soda
Sota Sensei.
He's ascended
Sensei.
to professor level. That's what they said.
But yeah, Yui just reiterates the plan to the girls. Hey, I'm going to the Apple Music Festival with Kaito tomorrow. And like Risako and Maya both are pretty sure Yui's into him. Although Yui doesn't seem sure herself. I think she's pretty unsure about Kaito.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see them really melding that well, and that was pretty made clear right during the car ride there. Like she was basically saying so much like, I'm not comfortable around you. I have to think of what to say. She didn't say it like that, but in so many words. I have to think about what to say next around you. And he's like, just relax, be yourself. And she really couldn't.
Which I wonder if that's a result from like her actually not being all that into him, or her being afraid of being burned like last time.
Or maybe she doesn't know what to do. Because keep in mind, guys, she doesn't have a list.
She's
flying without a list.
She's lost and listless.
Yeah, she listened to Aya and took that advice, that sage advice. So two things here. Okay. It was just the apple fruit, not the apple brand festival. And we were talking about that last episode.
We did not see
that
Team
squared
Coke on
away.
stage.
There were a lot of people there. That was a big crowd.
It was a huge crowd.
Any band would have been psyched to play, and he was on the main stage there too. There were thousands of people there, it looked like.
I was kind of like baffled. I was like, I didn't know this was going to be something like this is a full blown, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, this could be Warped Tour. This could be something,
ACL here in Austin easily could have been something like that. And so they were like joking around. The panelists were like, oh, is it going to be our Shohei, or is it going to be the Shohei, this comedian who I've never heard of before? He looked like some old gray haired dude.
Yeah, he's a veteran Rakugo performer in the same way that Tokui is. He's most known for like Shohei. Hey, get it? Because Shohei.
Hey,
dad jokes.
It's funny.
Okay,
rolling in with the dad jokes today.
So nice. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, I've never seen that man before. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot of minutia though in this part of Terrace House that we're talking about, where they keep juxtaposing these scenes between the guys out and the girls are in. Right. I think it might just be better for us to kind of summarize the finalities of it, rather than jumping between like the show does. Right. But essentially, with the guys, Sota, he is unsure of how Risako feels about him. He thinks their conversations are lukewarm, and he says when asked if he would ask Risako out again, he's like, if our schedules align. And I'm like, are you trying to be cool? Or like, do you not care? I don't understand, man.
I just don't think he cares all that much. I still think he has his guard up a lot.
That's one way to think about it. Or maybe he cares a lot, and maybe he is trying to show like play his cards close to his chest, and
maybe
like, overcompensating. Yeah,
because I think he thinks a lot about how he's going to reveal what we now know of him. Right, he's divorced as a kid, blah blah blah. Like, I think he thinks about that a lot, and how to like surprise people with that. So it wouldn't surprise me if he thinks about other things in his life a lot too. He thinks about obviously wearing glasses just to look important that aren't even prescription, and things like that. So he might be an overthinker. The more I think the evidence is kind of pointing in that direction for me, at least.
So he's like the male Yui.
Potentially.
Gasp.
Don't play Yui like that.
I mean, as in they both.
Yeah, I like Yui a lot better.
I like Yui a lot better too, but they both seem to overthink a lot. If what Jack's saying about Sota is true, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and the boys scene ends with just Aio and Sota at the table. I guess Kaito goes to piss or something. And
the table looks smaller though.
Yeah, and Aio's just like straight shot. Do you like Risako? And Sota again is just wishy-washy about it. I don't like her, but I could see myself dating her.
What does that mean?
He's like, she's the only one in my age group, so she's the only one I see myself dating.
Like, this is going to be the meanest thing I'll probably ever say on this podcast, but it's like, no wonder he got a divorce. Like,
damn.
Woo!
Give in to ya.
If that's the way he was behaving toward his wife, where it's like, I don't really like you, but I'll marry you.
Yeah.
I don't really want a kid, but I guess if you have
it seemed like he was trying to do
take.
the right thing there, like morally, to marry that girl. I don't know if the pregnancy came first. I guess that wasn't really discussed, but it seemed like he was trying to do the right thing, and he gave years of his life to that marriage, right? Like a couple years at least. I don't know. The guy is a puzzle, though. Like they said, like the name of this episode, The Man Who Cannot Be Described in Japanese.
Yeah.
Tokui said that words to describe Sota weren't available in the Japanese lexicon.
Which is so good. That's so true, though. He's so weird. I don't think we could ever describe Sota in English either. It's always like a string of sentences that have to define who he is, I think.
Yeah. The girls then talk about who they like.
Yeah. And at the end of the boys' night out, we learned that it's kind of interesting that Yui is technically the most popular girl in the house, because both Kaito and Aio have expressed they have interest in Yui. But also by the end of this episode, both Kaito and Aio are going for the other girls that they're actually interested in.
Yeah.
None really
Poor
for Yui.
What a tangled web we weave.
Like her time, like all this suggests that her time will come where she's just gonna have to like literally fend off suitors when they eventually are done running around, I guess. Because even and this is skipping ahead a little bit, but even surprisingly at the music festival, Shohei was like, oh, I think that if I had to marry anyone, I would marry Yui.
Yeah, wow.
Which was weird.
Yeah.
And
was
you
kinda
just
weird.
preface that too with like, by the time I was leaving the house, I was attracted to Yui. Well, not attracted, but kind of attracted, but not really.
Like I'd marry her.
But I'd marry her.
Not attracted. Yeah.
I was
My
like, dude,
parents would
like,
be
what is-
happy
just
if I married
stop,
Yui.
please.
Yeah. Yeah. It was awkward.
Yeah, Shohei did.
was
I don't
super
think he
awkward.
knows how to be a human being.
Then he was like, good luck with Yui.
Good luck.
Guys are like, damn.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah, he's like, come but the Yui.
And now that I think about it, he basically like asked them, hey, are you guys together? Didn't he? Like, I was like, one of the first questions. Are you guys dating?
But jumping to the girls in the kitchen,
Right.
that really sounded sexist. But the girls are hanging out in the kitchen. And
Oh, damn.
yeah, I know, right? And
So they're making sandwiches, right,
they're all
Robert?
making sandwiches for the hardworking guys. But they're all in agreement again that Sota is totally not for them, and they go like kind of real deep on him, like they really paint him in this horrible picture. Like when they asked Risako, "Hey, how was the date?" It was like, well, he either talked about himself or work.
And they're like, yeah, he does do that a lot. And it's, I wouldn't say they painted him in it. I think they just kind of reflected back on him what he's putting out there.
Yeah, they called him as they see it, because we're coming to the same conclusion. The panelists are coming to the same conclusion. Sota talks about himself a lot.
That's kind of his favorite subject in the world.
I mean, he is so interesting.
Oh, you think so?
Did you know that he's divorced and he has a kid?
Yeah. Did you
What?
know he wears fake glasses and overalls to work so he can look stylish but also serious?
He's an
Yeah,
overthinker.
jeez, that's like when you guys make fun of me for the brewery.
Stylish.
Yes, it is just like that. No, I'm starting to lean more towards he's an overthinker, right? So yeah. And then I think Maya, right, teases him like, oh, Risa's gone. Are you sad?
Yeah, when the boys come home. And the girls also reveal that he might, like Sota might be a road rager, at least according to what Shunsuke said, which I don't think we've ever.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think anyone's ever been pegged as a road rager in Terrace House, at least in none of the episodes I've seen.
It can happen to the
that's
best
funny.
of us. I've
He
been
just
guilty.
screams- What'd she say? She said he just screams "Skasaw" a lot, which is "damn it" essentially,
Yeah.
over and over again.
Because I think we've
And I
only
mean,
seen maybe.
they specifically call him because of that two-faced, which
Oh yeah,
I think what we've seen of him so far is kind of accurate.
Yeah.
very
Scary
strange
kinda.
guy. That Sota.
He's turning into the Udai of this season.
That's exactly what I said. He's the new die.
He's the new die.
He's the new guy.
New die.
I like it.
I want to die.
Hey.
Yes.
So yeah, the boys come home and it's just Yui and Maya at home because Risa goes to bed, I think was what they said, or she's like getting ready to go to Tokyo for 3 days. And that's when the girls tease Sota about like, oh, do you miss Risako? Basically, like, oh, she's leaving.
Right,
Are you
right.
gonna be okay?
And he just leaves a basic answer like, oh, if anyone left, that would be sad. I like it when we're all
Yeah,
together.
he's
Like,
I'm sad when everyone's sad when anyone leaves.
Yeah.
That's basically what he said.
right.
And remember, this is the same guy. When Aya revealed she was gonna leave, he was like, "Pff, should I care? Should I be sad?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Should I
let's
mourn
not
your
forget
loss?
that when they talked to, when the girls were laying into him while the boys were out, they talked about how Sota allegedly follows Risako around the house in like a stalkerish manner, which is really strange. You never see that on camera.
Yeah.
And that must be creepy too, like to live with someone who does that. You know, like they're in
She
your
didn't
house.
seem to care. She didn't seem to care, though. I mean, he was doing it innocent enough, it seems like.
Yeah,
She didn't even notice, I don't think she said, right? She's like, oh, I didn't even notice till you guys brought it up.
Yeah, I mean, and also maybe like as a 28-year-old model, as a model for 7 years, maybe she's used to stalkers? Question mark.
Used to stalkers.
That's the saddest sentence. Like, if anyone ever has to be used to stalkers.
Yeah, it's not great, but
Ask Robert. He has a bunch.
I do. I have a bunch.
How do you cope with that?
I hug them all.
Okay.
You're encouraging them.
I know it's kind of a shame. I just want to imprint my musk onto them. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
I don't. I really don't.
Nope, it's not at all.
I'm weird.
So yeah, Maya kind of comments to Kaito like, "Oh, you're gonna be with Yui all day tomorrow." You kind of sense some jealousy in her voice, maybe. I don't know about you guys. That's what I kind of felt.
I mean, I don't understand why else you would like be like, "Oh, you're gonna be hanging out all day," unless someone like actively disliked that person, or you're trying to imply your own displeasure with that.
Yeah. But then Kaito turns it on his fucking head and then is like, "Hey, what about you, Maya? When are you free? Let's go to an art museum."
Yeah, and I was surprised just like her that he said that.
Yeah. But I mean, this follows up with the last episode, remember? Because he also said to her face like, "Oh, I think you're cute too." You know, this all kind of falls in line with how he's attracted to both of them.
He's definitely trying to mac. He's trying to mac on both.
I think he's given up for the most part on Risako just out of realization that like the bigger boys are into her.
Yes, it would seem. You know, I think he thinks his best play is with Yui or Maya. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And I mean, Maya is fucking just like blown away, which I get. Like you could see it. She was like incredulous. Like, what is happening right now? Is this real? Is he asking me out?
Yeah,
To
but
a
she agreed
museum?
to it anyway. She agreed to it anyway.
Yeah.
And they went and they had a good time.
All right, and then let's see. We cut to the scene in the boys' room. That's when Yui's being a total mom. She wakes Kaito up for their date, which is a little weird to say, but that's what happens. And she leaves the room telling Sota to put your covers on before you catch a cold. Good mom. And then they're in the car. They go to the Apple Music Festival. They meet up with Shohei. Dude, I was jamming to Shohei's song.
That's good.
He was getting it.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be the one that says his band sucks. Okay.
I mean, you can
It's just not me. I wouldn't have bought that disc. I don't know. I was thinking about this too. I was like, man, Shohei probably would not have gotten to the second or third round of American Idol. I just felt like he's like a very like mediocre singer, and I'm not hating the guy. I'm fine with the guy. It's just like I was like, unless this is a Persona video game, like I would never listen to this kind of music. Like
that's what it always reminds me of.
Yeah, but it fits perfectly in that style, and that's where its place is, and that's where I enjoy it. Would I go and download it? Hell no. Would I buy it? Would I go to a show? Hell no. And I don't think he's a great singer, but I mean, he's on Terrace House. He's a good guy. I'm here to support him, you know, as kind of like a Terrace House friend and a fan of the show. Beyond that, I'm just being honest with you guys. I can't say I like that song.
Yeah,
sorry.
and for how big that crowd was, it didn't like. I didn't think anyone was going crazy for Shohei's band either. It definitely didn't seem that way.
Yeah, it's the middle of the day. That's a tough spot too. You know, it was definitely
That's true. I mean,
early
it
morning or afternoon.
Yeah, they got up early. I mean, they got there, 10 o'clock?
Yeah, and I mean, at least the crowd that was there, they were like, there were a few people who were kind of like jamming, a few people like kind of fist pumping to the song, you know, and the crowd was kind of bigger than I expected.
Yeah, they were just a little too low energy to be putting in that early in the day.
I mean, even then, like Shohei said, like he's always wanted to be in that music festival, and that usually you don't get past the audition process. So to actually be on the main stage was like a big deal.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up, is that I can't imagine how good that must feel. Like, regardless of what you think of his music, you know, growing up and always wanting to be in a music festival and then starting a band that gets good enough to be on the main stage of that festival, even during midday, like that's got to be a really good feeling.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, just playing in front of that many people, I've never, in my entire career playing music, I don't know about you, Jack, but I've never played for a crowd that big.
I don't know. There was thousands and thousands of people. Like, it was definitely close to, the biggest, you know, crowd I've ever played in front of.
That was a huge crowd. That was like going to see a sold out show at some amphitheater somewhere.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We cut to the girls' room here where it's just Maya and Yui, and Maya reveals that Kaito asked her out on a date. And so now Yui knows, right? And I kind of really respect Yui for her response here. It's not at all like, mean, jealous, or catty. It's just, oh, that's cool. Like, I hope you have fun.
Yeah, I think she was still a little bit like put off by it, but she was like doing her best to cover it up.
Yeah, she definitely has done a 180 from like her response to Noah and Sana. Like, she was like literally like, oh, you guys, that would be cool if you got together. You guys look good together. It makes me happy.
It's
and
painful.
I don't feel like that was entirely disingenuine. Like, I feel like she does really like Maya, and she's not so sure about Kaito, but she knows that they do look good together.
Yeah, I think she was being truthful there, certainly, but it's just painful because, I'm starting to like Yui a little bit more. She's kind of grown during her time on the show, and is she the person that's been there longest now, I think? She's a senior, right? Of everybody.
Yeah, she's the person who's been there.
Yeah, and so it's just a little bit of deja vu, though, too, right? That this is kind of happening again in the manner that it's happening. And so I kind of feel bad for her in that respect, just because, when she thinks she's dating someone and it might be going in a positive direction, or she's on the fence about it, it's just like someone else kind of swoops in and it's kind of gets hot and heavy.
Yeah. And I think Maya here, I don't know if she's telling like a little white lie, but she says to Yui that, oh, I've never considered Kaito. And like,
yeah, come on now.
That's how shit gets started. You might as well just be straight up with her.
People are scared. This is like a long chain now. Like, women are scared of being honest to Yui to hurt her. Look how backhanded Sana was about the whole thing. That was like some stealth fucking Navy SEAL shit. The way she got in with Noah. Seriously, that was like some fucking Zero Dark 30 shit.
Zero Dark 30.
SEAL team.
Zero Dark 30.
It was. And then look at Mayu too. I guess Mayu and her tried to make it plain, but there was still like a lot of deception, a lot of lies, a lot of secrets, in between them. And then here we go again. Like, this is another person that's kind of scared to be just straight up with Mayu.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Maybe they feel like motherly too, Maybe they feel like she's more super, what's the word? Like more
no one can dislike Yui at this point, especially like living with her the day in and day out, and like having their laundry done by her, having her always pick up after everyone, and like say caring things like, remember to cover up or else you'll catch a cold. Like, I would feel like I was betraying her if I was in Maya's situation.
Interesting.
Yeah, I could see that. Because we keep calling her the mom. She is probably the mom of the house. I'd be willing to bet she does the bulk of the cleaning, bulk of like the dishwashing. And we've seen her do other people's laundry.
Multiple.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past Yui to be that person in the house. And I don't know, more than anything, just kind of want her to have get a win and then feel like she's, done something at Terrace House. She's had a good personal arc so far, Yui has. Like, she's been entertaining to watch. She's had a lot of stuff happen. She's made a lot of crazy decisions on Terrace House has affected her massively personally, at least in her opinion, to the point where it affected her career. And then on from that, I just want to see her get a win in the relationship side of things. And it seems like she has generally an idea what the path she wants to take career-wise, and then go on her way from the house. I think that's where I'm at with Yui.
Yeah. Whereas when we cut to the boys' room, it's all three of the guys there. And, they're all just talking more about their feelings. And Kaito, I think this is where he's starting to, like, turn the leaf, right? Where he says the date with Yui was fine, and Yui's cute and all, but I wish she'd lighten up. I wish she'd just chill out and be herself. Right? And I think that's the moment where Kaito's maybe leaning more toward Maya.
Yeah, I don't get the sense that music festival like went great for either of them. Mm-mm. That was probably the inflection point where it's like, we're probably just gonna be friends now. And I think it's kind of unspoken, but they kind of both know it. Especially with Yui saying that, we're supposed to go skateboard, and I asked him to ask me out, but I don't know anymore.
Yeah, and to me, I think that was maybe her conceding. I don't want to put it this way, but like conceding defeat, like kind of saying, I give Maya and Kaito my blessing. Like, you guys go ahead, have fun.
Yeah, I could definitely see it that way. That whole interaction when it was Maya and Kaito, and then Kaito leaves, and then Yui has that small interaction with Maya, and then Yui leaves and then comes back, and then they're like, so how did your date go? Blah, blah, blah. And then it had a weird vibe too, because I was trying to read Yui to see if I could pick up on any sort of jealousy, and it seemed like jealousy that was just, she was really covering it well. You know what I mean? It seems like there was more to it than what she was letting on.
Yeah, and I mean, from here on out, there's just kind of a lot of he said, she said going on. Like, there's a scene in the living room where Maya and Aio are talking, and Maya's like, oh, I'd probably choose Kaito over anyone else in the house, and that might be like the moment where Aio chooses to go more for Risa than Maya, maybe. He sees less of a chance with her.
Yeah, it definitely felt like in the last episode he was trying to feel her out and didn't get a good reading, but now it's kind of like, okay, that's a lost cause.
Yeah. And we cut to the panel here, and I kind of agree with them that it's just like, that was I mean, they said it was a lot of scary girl talk, which is a little bit like, whatever.
Scary girl talk.
Yeah, but it just felt like there was a lot of talk going on where there's a lot of not facts, but like feelings being thrown out there, being rescinded, being changed. And it just like the past 15 minutes of Terrace House have been so amorphous to me about people's feelings.
Yeah, it just kind of just blends all together after a while. And this episode was like, if I hadn't taken notes, it's a bit of a blur. Like, kind of what you were saying, like, most of this episode was a bit of a blur.
Dude, this episode had one of the best parts in Terrace House history, as far as I'm concerned.
We haven't covered it yet.
That's true. We're getting there.
Yeah. We have not covered it yet. So let's see. We move on to the kitchen where Risako is like, man, I'm so sore. And I was like, yeah, I know going to the gym sucks, but hey, let's go to this place. I don't know the name of it, but you can see lava rocks there, and I want to go, so let's go as a date.
Yeah, it seemed intriguing.
Same.
As much as, like, Terrace House, I feel, is pretty authentic, I feel like there's a lot of times where they're fed places to go that, like, Kurizawa Tourism is like, hey, that would be cool if we got that on the show. Could you, like, plug that? Like, hey, we have lava rocks. Like, let's get some geologists wanting to come out and check those out.
You didn't think he just like Googled like cool dates in Kurizawa? Maybe saw it?
Is lava rocks cool dates? Like, I would love to go see some lava rocks, but yeah. I don't know if that's something like you ask a girl out to go see some lava rocks.
Yeah, I mean, it is unique. I like to give him credit and maybe, give him the benefit of the doubt, I should say, and just be like, yeah, he's probably just really good at planning dates. I don't know. It seems like when him and Risa hang out, it seems to go pretty smoothly at most times. So I think it's a good thing to have like an open-ended thing where they can go and hang out, see something unique, and have discussion. So I am looking forward to the lava rock date.
It's funny because when you guys were talking about like, oh, maybe he was they're fed places to go daily. I was like, is there like a producer off screen like feeding Aio like next to the camera? He's just like, go to like Ryu Park with the lava rocks, and he's like trying to listen to him, and he's like, Nani, I didn't get that. And he's like, and they're like, scene, and I'm like, he's like, so do you want to go to this place? I know it's like, I don't know what it's called, but it's like lava rocks.
There's lava rocks.
Yeah. We
should go.
Yeah, it's funny.
And also I noticed, like, have you ever noticed when anyone asks anyone on a date in this show, they have to say the words "let's go" like 50 times?
Let's go. Let's
equal.
go.
Yeah, equal. Hi, equal ne. Equal.
Let's go.
Equal.
I don't know. I think it's cool though, because I remember there was an episode we did of this show. It was maybe one of the first 3 or first 5 where we mentioned that there is an active volcano near Karuizawa, and it's kind of cool seeing it show up in this, roundabout way, kind of.
Nice.
I'm sure the Kurizawa Tourism Board also thinks that's cool.
Yes. Thanks for the tourism, Terrace House.
Yeah, let's do it.
We cut to a scene in Bunka Fashion College where we get to see Maya work her stuff. Like, she's doing school, guys. She's going to fashion school, and she's sticking with the stylist career path despite trying out and making a modeling gig. So we're kind of seeing like that whole side story of hers work out, which is really cool to see.
Oh, so she's not going to do the modeling at least on the side? She's just...
No, she is, but it's like for her school profession, she's sticking with stylist.
Got it.
Right.
Got
She's doing distribution.
Retail.
It's really interesting to see this because of all the students that we get on Terrace House, we don't often see them at school.
Yeah, it's one of the rare times we see someone in a class. Like the professor obviously had to agree to that, so I agree.
Yeah, like I think that might have been the first time, at least from what I remember, seeing it in the inside of a classroom, especially during lecture.
Yeah,
I feel like we might have seen it before.
Have we?
Aloha
there's
State,
been a lot
maybe?
of Terrace House. I mean, it's certainly possible. Nothing comes to mind though. This is one that definitely sticks out.
You know, I vaguely remember Yuya from Aloha State. There's some scenes of him in school, but
Oh,
nonetheless.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Look at you!
Okay.
Look at you!
Yeah, look at me.
Encyclopedia guy.
I know my Terrace House. It's like I produce a show about Terrace House and all things about it.
What?
Oh shit! Really? I thought it was just the glasses.
It is just the glasses. They make me look more serious, guys. Look, let's get into this fucking juicy
Okay.
moment. Okay, it's so
Holy
good.
shit!
So I thought Aio asking a girl out, but not quite knowing the name of the place he wants to go. I thought that was like, man, you know, I mean, it's not the worst way to ask a girl out, but like, could have been better. Soda is just like, hold my sake. Let me show you how to not ask a girl out.
Holy fuck, dude. So where do we start? So he sits down, and I thought it was funny because Aio was like making kind of a raunchy joke to Risa. Like he's like, him and Kaito are like, I have to go to the bathroom. Oh, I'll go to the other bathroom. And then Risa's like, I have to go to the bathroom too. Then Aio turns to her and goes, do you want to go together? I was like, ugh.
Yeah, because at this moment, like Kaito and Maya are talking about the Trick Art Museum, which is really cool, and they're all kind of like joking about it. And Soda's just like, my glasses broke.
Yeah.
Out
He
of
walks
nowhere.
in late, yeah.
Yeah, everyone then leaves, and then he turns to Risako and is like,
She's trapped.
there's an opportunity for you.
No. You're jumping way too far ahead. Hold on. You got to set the scene, man. First thing he said to her was, has Aio asked you out again, or have you guys been going on dates? And she's like, oh, we worked out, but we haven't done anything yet. He did ask me to lava rocks. And then, man, it's very telling, dude. The gears are turning in Soda's head here. He looks like to the door or something like that. He's like thinking, and he's like, okay, I'm threatened now. You know, this one girl that I can date, I'm threatened. I need to come to a decision now. And you can tell he thought of it on the spot. He didn't really think he was going to ask her out then, but he was thinking glasses. He's thinking date, glasses date. I know. Hey, there's an opportunity to help me with my glasses. So that was what happened. He felt threatened by, at least my interpretation, he felt threatened that I already had a date on the schedule, on her calendar, and he's like, I need to get in now before this gets too real. And I don't even think he's doing it because he's necessarily interested in her. It's just like he's doing it because she's the one, you know, person he's going to ask out, and she's already going. So he's doing it more for him than for anyone else in a weird way.
I mean,
And
he does
it's just-
everything for him.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. This is like, you know, incongruous with everything we know of him already. So I could just see, I mean, go back and watch it because he was like, oh man, I got panic glasses date. Oh, hey, let's go on a glasses date. And she's like, what? And starts cracking up, dude. And oh my gosh. Someone else take the mic.
An opportunity has arisen
Dude, that's
where
like,
you can help pick out my glasses.
guys, that's the most
Enter
baller
the
way.
sweepstakes at this website.
It's the only way to ask anyone out on a date from now on. No matter who you're interested in, just approach and be like, there's an opportunity for you to join me for dinner.
And she goes, what, a glasses picking date? And he's like, well, if I was to think of a date right now, that's right. Like, what?
It was.
The fuck?
He was like, you can pick them out for me and tell me which ones look good. And it's like, okay. I was also just distracted the entire time that he was wearing like overalls, and he even like made a joke at it that he had to
and this
like,
ugly like mustard yellow fucking flannel he's got going
Those
on.
glasses he wears, and listen, dude, I've been making fun of those ever since I saw him in those, and now that I learned that they're fucking fake, like, dude, this guy's judgment, this guy's judgment is totally askew, man. I don't trust anything he decides anymore, and so she literally laughs his ass out of the room.
like she's
Never
alone in the
says-
room, still laughing, and
yeah,
she literally
never
says
says-
out loud, "I can't stop laughing."
She never says she's going to go at all. She just looks up like, like, and he doesn't get it. He thinks like they're going. He thinks it's happening. Oh, never seen a fail so fucking.
So here,
It was good shit.
I'm guessing he's counting it as a win because he's like, oh, like, look, I made her laugh. Like,
She's smiling. This is a great
she's
idea.
Smiling. That's great.
that's
I
all
can't
that
wait to
matters.
tell her about all the glasses I like.
I'm so clever for coming up with this date that only benefits me.
Yeah, yes, clearly. Like, oh, I can't wait to go help you pick out glasses. And then the most egotistical shit comes back later when he's in that room with Aio, and he's like, while I was inviting her to this date, I thought, oh no, what if she picks glasses that I don't like? Yeah. And then I might just have to buy them.
So actually, that talk is the reason why I don't think. Like, I think he did plan for, like, this is seriously a date I have in mind. Let's go pick out my glasses with me. Okay? Because I feel like he would have revealed that to Aio, where it was like, well, I kind of came up with it on the spot. It was really like snip, snap. I a real class act, I think, on my feet. But he talks to Aio at that scene like, yeah, no, I asked her out to go choose my glasses with me. Like, that's something
and Aio just
really
like, okay. He's like, yeah, fine. I was probably laughing his ass off too internally.
Oh yeah, and just when he goes back around and is like, I'm gonna pick my own anyway, probably because I'm probably not gonna trust her judgment. It's like, dude, you're an ass. You're not great.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude's just what a dick.
I mean,
Colin, you
so self-involved.
What do you say, Jack?
I was just gonna say, like, I'd love to hear your take on that whole situation. You were kind of quiet there, so.
No, yeah, I was just listening because you guys pretty much summed up a lot of the stuff I was thinking, honestly. But yeah, just that whole scene in the room, the playroom rather, with Aio, where he's just like, what if she picks out glasses and they're terrible? I'm like, dude,
God,
you are not doing yourself any favors. No, like no one. It just reaffirmed to me, like, maybe he's just blissfully ignorant. He just doesn't know. I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm really trying here. I'm really trying with Sota.
And go ahead.
He's like, nah, what if she picks out something terrible? I'm like, God, dude, you are so fucking dense.
Yeah,
and
dense.
I just want to say here, let's step into the manic shoes of Sota Kono for a second here. I just asked a girl out on a date where she could pick my glasses out for me. She was laughing while I was walking out. This is a sure thing, guys. We're going to go on this date. Let me reveal later on in a national TV show that she's going to see 3 weeks later that I'm probably not going to like her decisions anyway and choose my own glasses. That is this man's mental thought process.
It's crazy. And they were saying too, like, well, he's going to see this and I feel bad for him. There's a lot of info dumps on Sota during this episode that he seems oblivious to, right? But he's going to see it on TV and they're like, oh no, he's going to see it. This is bad. And they're like, no. This man needs to see this. He needs some help and he needs to see like how he's reacting. But he might just be that type of personality that just blows it off as a joke. Like, oh yeah, I could be done, like, and not learn anything and not grow as a person. I could totally see that happening. But he does need to see this stuff, much like Yui though, maybe it will be for the better. Cause I feel like she's made a positive change, since seeing herself on the show and seeing the show's reactions to her, so hopefully Sota sees that too, but man, is it good fucking shit right now. This is some entertaining ass shit. I mean,
I've never seen good TV, guys.
On any fucking show in my life, I've never seen a man ask anyone else on a date and get laughed out of the room and think that it went well. I can't think of anything in my life, dude. Unreal.
I really hope that there's just like a moment where I'm picturing Sota approaching Risako, assuming that they're still going to go on this date, right? He approaches her.
They're not going on that date.
No, it's not happening. But if there was a scene where he's assuming that it's still happening and he approaches her about it, and Risako's like, just gives him like a sobering slap in the fucking ego, and it's just like, you thought I was going on that fucking date with you? Like, get real.
She won't do that, but she might do. She'll be like, she might just send him an email like, hey, I've found these online. These look pretty good. Yeah, like, these look pretty good. Like, go look for something like that. I mean, that's like the passive aggressive way to say no.
Yeah. I mean, she did the Sota thing. She like turned it around on him and kind of gave him an out, but he kept digging the grave deeper. She was like, oh, you're inviting me to invite myself along. But he just kept being like, yeah, we'll go pick out glasses. And it's like,
he kept saying there's an opportunity for you to come along and help me. Something like that. Like, there's a spot here.
Like it's a job
on this excursion. Like, no, I'm asking you. It came across so bad. And then even Yudai asked girls out better than this, man.
Whoa.
Like, in the next scene too, we see Yui and Risako talking in the playroom, and they're just, basically saying the same things we are, right? Like, is this real? Does this guy have that much confidence where he thinks that was a successful way to ask any human being to hang out, let alone on a date? Like, it was just so awful. And Yui is being really nice. And she's giving him the benefit of the doubt and is like, maybe the date will be fun because he's so confident in the way he asked you.
Oh,
No.
boy.
Yui,
Oh,
That's
sweet
a
summer
weird
child.
logically. Yeah, that's a weird logic leap. I can't go with you there, Yui. I don't
Nope.
understand. She's just trying to be positive in all things.
And, Yui even kind of throws out the possibility maybe he's planning something besides glasses. Look, no romantic anything in the world can follow up a date where you choose out glasses. Or no, you have a girl choose out glasses for you, and then you choose the ones you like instead.
That's what I'm saying, man. He was like in a fugue state when he like brought that up. He was like, I need to get a date right now with her because she's already got something with Aio. And it was just knee-jerk reaction, not well thought out at all, clearly, and it's not going to happen. And it just really sunk his stock. He had no stock already, but he's like in the fucking basement now.
He's negative stock. He owes
Yeah.
people money now.
Yeah, he's got to
owes
pay
people
Risa
money.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dividends.
Let's cut to a nicer, happy, fun date. Let's talk about the Trick Art Museum date between Kaito and Maya. Dude, that place is cool.
I would
That
have liked
is-
to go on there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a fucking date spot if I've ever seen one. Damn.
Yeah.
Nice choice, Kaito.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, I think that they are effortless together, right? They don't have to try. They get each other in a weird way. So I think that we're starting to see now, right? Like the natural pairings are happening between Maya and Kaito on one hand, and between potentially Aio and Risa on the other hand. That leaves Yui and Sota out in the cold, unfortunately. And Sota's like the most attractive looking guy there. So it goes to show, hey, like the girls are not shallow at all. They think he's the most attractive, but they also, take him for what he's worth, and it's not much, turns out.
I don't feel as bad for Yui here, though. I don't feel like she's so sad at the fact that Kaito won't work out. She doesn't look like she's crying in tears, life's in shambles,
Didn't Aio also say that he liked Yui too?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's panning out, though.
I know,
everyone loves Yui.
but romantically?
I think it's more of like the knowledge that like she would be a good person to end up with because you'd have the emotional security of having another mom, essentially, which isn't the best reason to marry someone. But it's like no one
Right.
dislikes Yui. Everyone could see themselves ending up with her in the sense that they would have a good life with her.
And all the more reason for her to be picky then, because she's 50% of the equation too. Like she needs to like really wait for the right guy, not just settle for the next guy who asks her out, which I'm glad she's not doing.
It's just coming across as like euphemisms for saying she's safe, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's trustworthy, right? That was said. Oh, she's trustworthy.
She's the kind of girl your parents would be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. She's safe, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's desirable to a lot of people.
Do we know of any marriages that have happened on Terrace House yet? We'll have to research that. I don't think there have been any.
I think folks from the original Next Door, some have.
Okay. We'll talk about that later on another episode.
Let's see. We cut here to the kitchen. Now, this is an interesting scene where Kaito and Maya and Yui are sitting there. Yui's cleaning up the kitchen while Kaito and Maya make plans to watch what's translated as 13 Dragons? Question
I
mark?
love that. I mean, wasn't there like a 13 ghosts and like a 13 samurai? Now there's a 13 dragons.
But
yeah,
it's
but
it's not. We're looking at this as a translation error. They say, 13 Ryu, which Ryu is usually dragon, but what's more likely is that they're saying the, Japan English version of 13 reasons why. So 13 Ryu, and it just got cut off enough that they were like automatic translate. I don't know what 13 reasons why is. I don't know why they are watching that because personally I hate it, but they wanted to watch that together. Kaito and Maya.
That is, I don't know much about it. I know a little bit. I know enough about it. I'll say that I've never seen an episode. I don't want to talk about the show too much, but it is supposedly like one of the most depressing shows ever made. And they did research on it and showed that teenagers that watch it actually have a higher probability of actually committing suicide and following through with it. Because it's a series all about suicide, basically, and like all the reasons why. Like it almost like justifies suicide in a weird way.
Yeah, it's a revenge fantasy. It's like I killed myself. Now you all suffer because of it.
Yeah.
And it's actually causing more people than normal to commit suicide. It's crazy.
It's insane.
And they're watching it on a date.
Like, I remember reading the book for that a long time ago, and I mean, I didn't kill myself, obviously, but like,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Yeah, I could grace you with my beauty, but
Appreciate it.
man, it was a weird book. I don't really know why it was chosen to be a Netflix special, let alone one with 2 seasons somehow.
It's bad stuff. It's bad
That's
stuff.
a Wikipedia hole to go down another day.
Yeah. And, I do find it actually kind of weird that, I mean, so this might be a translation error on their part, right? But technically, is it Terrace House a Netflix original now?
Yeah, it is.
So, like, you would figure maybe some people at Netflix would see that and be like, oh, they're talking about our other Netflix original, 13 Reasons Why. Maybe this is a good time for cross-promotion. But instead, no, it's like, yeah, they're talking about 13 Dragons. The very famous movie, 13 Dragons.
And they were very careful not to show the screen either. Like that, another cross-promotion opportunity lost.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Huh.
Interesting.
So, I don't know. I mean, just food for thought. I guess, like, Fuji TV does also hold a stake in in Terrace House. So maybe there's some kind of legal mumbo jumbo with that. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe
it was
we're
interesting
wrong
mistranslation.
entirely and they're watching 13 Dragons.
13 dragons. Those dragons just keep dragging on.
Because here's the thing. That sounds anime as hell.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
It could be an anime. We don't know. But yeah, so they talk. The Kaito and Maya talk about, let's watch this show. And Yui overhears. When she's done cleaning the kitchen, she leaves and it's like, I'm gonna go to the girls' room. And she gives Maya this face, which I can only describe as just like, you gonna bone tonight.
It's like,
Oh,
it's
you guys
fake
are gonna
enthusiasm.
watch that. Oh,
Yeah. It's just fake enthusiasm, right? Like, she's a little bummed. I mean, I think she's more bummed at the idea of what's happening rather than like Kaito specifically, just because, again, this is like second time in this house for Yui. But it was rough to see. I mean, there was definitely some awkward exchanges going on there between them.
Yeah. And it's kind of compounded with where Kaito's like, oh, okay, let me leave. I have to go get my laptop charger. And while he's gone, Yui comes back just to grab some tea. But she's like she has this weird energy about her, right? Where like she's definitely hiding something, but doesn't want to show it, but is showing that she's hiding something.
she's not good at being subtle. We learned that pretty early on with Yui.
That was a pretty bold choice to start talking about like dating plans with Kaito with Maya right then and there when Kaito could have came back at any time with the charger, right? That was
right.
like
I
bold.
mean, shit, for all we know, he was just like next to the doorway there. He could have been right by the door.
Yeah, but there they are.
Yeah. Let's see, the last 2 scenes here. We've got that scene with the playroom with Sota and Aio. We've already talked about that with Sota's incredible arrogance. Like, it's tantamount to, it's just insane how arrogant he is. So I guess in a way he is confident, right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
It's one way to put it.
Yeah, it's one way.
One way.
Yeah, and then in the girls' room, it's Risa and Yui, and they're kind of talking about how, like, it's kind of cute to see Maya and Kaito together. Like, they seem so happy together. But then Risa asks Yui, like, are you sure this isn't weird for you, though, to see Kaito and Maya together? And Yui thinks, and then it cuts to the next scene. But I don't know. How did you guys read that? Because I think Yui's definitely hiding something, but she doesn't want to reveal it to the camera, let alone others in the house.
I think she's a little bit more apprehensive about it than she lets on.
She's not
I
speaking
think she's
her mind.
doing. Yeah, and I think she's kind of like letting it out little by little. But I think knowing that after seeing herself on camera from previous episodes, she's way more conscious about how she acts on camera. So going full on old Yui with, starting a beef and everything, it's just, I don't think that we're going to see that. I think she's going to keep it inside as much as she can.
For sure.
Yeah. It feels like I don't think that her liking Maya is like faked. I think that's what makes it harder for her. And thus I think she's like doubling down on that. And she's like, I like both of them. I don't want to be mad at either of them, but I'm kind of hurt by this.
Well, that leaves us with the very last scene. It's a small shot, but we get to see Kaito and Maya, like they're not. I wouldn't call that necessarily snuggling, but she's using his shoulder as a pillow.
I would. They were cuddling up. They were getting cozy on the floor in the corner with the blankets.
Yeah, and if that's not cuddling, then it's dangerously close to it.
Yeah,
it's like on blankets near his lap.
To me, I mean,
platonic.
We'll see. Yeah, it's not definitely. We'll see in the future that we'll see what happens. But to me, this is the moment where Kaito made his decision. Personally, is what I think. Like it's all the way Maya. He's not following up on the skate date, with Yui. It's not going to happen. And the girls kind of understand it too. It's a very unspoken thing happening here, but like the line has clearly been drawn, I feel like. And so this is a rough spot, man, to be put on a cliffhanger, right? For what, 8-9 more weeks now? So it's like, just want to see what happens next. But man, it's, I guess I'm happy for them. I don't know. I don't really feel too strongly about Maya for whatever reason personally, but whatever. Kaito's a player, and so he's got his chance, and he's seizing the opportunity now.
Yeah, I think the tough thing here is that they've only been on this show for maybe like 2-3 episodes. I want to say, I feel like I haven't been on that long.
Yeah,
so it's kind of hard.
It really hasn't been that long.
Yeah, so it's hard to feel like, oh, I care a lot about what's happening.
Right.
Like we were saying last episode, I'm still not quite to the point yet with these characters where like I'm just completely invested. So it's building slowly for me, but I don't know. I don't know if it's that like I've yet to find a character to latch onto that's like super relatable. Like I really latched on to Taka a lot when he was on, but we don't really have a guy like him anymore. So like I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. I can't put my finger on it.
Right now, for me, I'm really rooting for Aio and Risa. That I want to see that go somewhere. I'm rooting for that one. And
I think that could be cool. Yeah.
And I like Kaito as a person, so I hope he's happy, but I just hope he's like cool too about it. I hope he doesn't just like dog Yui. And I don't think he's trying to on purpose, but he seems like he can be a little bit of a, like I said, like a player. And so I just hope he takes the noble road in that respect.
Be good.
I just want more Sota. I like.
Yes.
It's like the morbid love that Jack had for Yudai back in the day. That's kind of what I'm feeling now. I just want to see Sota ask more people out to go pick glasses with him.
I want to see what he'll say next. And like the panel was saying, right? They were like, oh, please, Risa, take this one for the team. Like, go on this day. We have to see how this pans out. I'll admit, I want to see it. Just to see it burn down or blow up in flames, right? I really want to see that happen. I want to see her pick terrible glasses and have him pretend to like them and spend the money for them.
It's going to be so good, but so bad.
I don't think it's happening. I'm going to call it now. I know we'll do predictions later, but I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. I do want to see him like given some kind of reality check or taken down a peg, because I think he really feels like he's above everything that's happening with everyone else in Terrace House, especially because he framed his entire reason for being there as kind of like a social experiment for work, and it's like, no dude, like that's really disrespectful to everyone else that's there for their various dreams and reasons. I guess that would be one reason to see more of Sota, but most of all I want to see closure with Yui. I need something good to happen for her.
Yeah, she needs to have some wins. Same. She needs to have some solid wins. And how's that app coming along now, buddy? Huh, Sota? Professor Sota?
How's it?
Yeah.
How's that observational study, dude?
Holy crap, dude. Yeah, I like him. I don't want him to go because I want to see what he says next. I want to see what he does. He's one of the most interesting things about the house right now. To me.
Totally.
Like, I'd love to see him stick around until the very end, because I want to see how he interacts with any of the new people that might come along, because there's probably going to be new people before this and the end of opening new doors.
Right.
And I would just love for like one of the new people to walk in, and kind of like how Aio walked in was like, I want Taka. I want someone to walk in and be like, oh, you're the guy who's divorced and has kids when you were my age, right? Like just fucking beat him at his own game.
They say it first before he even gets a chance to.
I've been divorced twice and have 2 kids.
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
Whoa, yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm currently getting a divorce. Here's my kid. I brought him with me.
You
just has one of those like toddler reverse backpacks, walks in.
Oh, fuck, what if they pull like a Maury and the next guest is his kid?
Oh, dude. The wife comes in and lives there and the kid moves in with her.
Oh, man.
Dude.
Sota, this is your child.
Wow. So, okay, we're getting in prediction territory now. That's the next episode, everyone.
Yeah, so let's put a wrap on this episode here. The very last one of part 5. It's kind of a sad day for international Netflix viewers. But it is what it is. We're kind of used to this horrible torture now, if you've been following
Over way
Terrace House.
too soon. Yeah, it's over way too soon. 8 episodes is not enough.
For sure. Jack, do you want to tell the folks about our lovely contest?
It's still going. You guys got time. Follow us on Instagram at Tadaimagram, on Twitter at Tadaima Pod. Leave us a review. iTunes would be great, but anywhere you can leave us a review, please do that. If you complete those 3 steps, you are automatically entered into our awesome, badass contest here. And it's really just to help us out, build a following, get those reviews going so we have visibility and we can grow the community and spread Terrace House love across this great planet. And so, yeah, you got time, but please don't hesitate. Leave those reviews and do all that stuff. And you will get an awesome prize. I promise it's awesome. Promise you.
Yeah. What better way is there to start a new year by giving a fledgling podcast a review on iTunes? Right, guys?
Please.
Great way.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I'm not above begging. Yeah.
Please. Yeah, so now that we're done covering all of part 5, we've been publishing an episode every other day for the past 2 weeks. It's insane. But now that we're done, we're going to be going back to a weekly publication schedule where we're going to be publishing every Monday up until whenever part 6 drops, which is likely going to be in mid-February or March-ish.
Yeah. And don't worry, we got some juicy shit to keep you guys tided over until part 6 drops in North America and international audiences. So keep coming back. We are your weekly podcast for all things Terrace House. And It's going to be fun times.
Yeah, every Monday, everyone. If you feel like we missed anything, either in part 5 in general or in this episode specifically, you can email those to us. You can reach us at questions@terracehousepodcast.com. Our next episode is going up on January 7, where we're going to talk about our predictions for part 6. It's going to get wild. It's going to be crazy. I'm excited. I hope you are too. This has been Tadaima. Thanks for listening. Itakimasu!
You can email us at questions@terracehousepodcast.com, follow us on Instagram at Tadaimagram, on Twitter at TadaimaPod, and check us out on Facebook and YouTube at Tadaima, a Terrace House podcast.